Hello, everybody. This is Nick Latiro, Professor of Information Technology and Computer Science, Lakeland Community College, CAE mentor, and peer reviewer. All right, on to 2D. Student participation in extracurricular activities. Now, for a lot of the applications I have seen a lot of schools will have cyber clubs. They'll send out to cyber events, and that is all fantastic. So I'm going to show you a couple things and just kind of give you a general idea. I think most of us understand what extracurricular activities are, but I think where the occasional issue may arise is really a kind of an understanding or even a documentation of what you really did to encourage the extracurricular activity. So let's go up to my screen. And before we get started with that, I have to do a mea culpa here. 20 years ago now, I did my dissertation on student activities at a two-year community college, and it's very difficult. It's very difficult to start a club, let alone maintain a club. It's possible, and I've talked to a lot of community colleges that have been very successful about it. But we all know it's a two-year program. Usually, students don't do much that first semester, then they do something in the second and third, and then by the fourth semester they're gone. There's may not be a lot of continuity, so I completely understand that. It's one of the problems that we've often faced here at Lakeland. So we sometimes this extracurricular could be a little bit challenging. So I'm going up to the student participation, and I'm going to break some things down here. One is if you're doing an event on your campus, right? We do a lot of events on our campus. We bring in speakers, we bring in professionals, we do career services, and those are extracurricular activities that you're basically managing, you're doing. Those are fairly easy to document. Oftentimes you'll ask for what do you call it, a student list of people who participated. Please try to provide that documentation. Just don't give me a flyer or give the application a flyer and say, hey, here's an event. Let us know how many students went to it. Give us some documentation. That's fairly easy. When the event is someplace else, say it's a cyber defense or some kind of what do you call it, cyber competition, and it's at another place, don't just send the flyer. If you've sent somebody or you've sent a team, there's usually some kind of documentation about where that individual, where that team placed. There might be a receipt that you had to pay to get into that cyber competition. We definitely need those. I have dinged applications where one school says, oh, we have a cyber team and here's an event we went to, and they just provide the flyer for that event without actual documentation that they sent somebody there. So I say, hey, just send me a receipt or something that you can say we definitely sent people there. A couple of things that we have done, again, just for an example, we did an event. We have been doing a lot of partnering with our criminal justice department. So we did an event with our criminal justice department. Here's the general flyer where it was a multi-department event, criminal justice and us. They did a couple breakout sessions. We did a couple breakout sessions. Here is some documentation of the email of what the event was, and the different activities that the students would be doing. And then along the line, I basically asked my colleagues, how many students did come to that? So here is just an email chain of this particular event. We didn't really have flyers for it because it was more of a directed event, but you can see by providing the emails, we said, hey, we had a lot of cybersecurity students, and this one day, half of them were looking at criminal justice stuff, half of them were looking at cybersecurity, and then we kind of switched over. Then the other one is, here is an event where we encouraged a student, a young lady, one of our better students, to go, and she competed in an event for women in cybersecurity. She provided emails and her placements, and really nice form of documentation that we're encouraging that. We do have some cyber organizations that we do work with. Again, anytime we would send people there, we ask for some kind of confirmation. If it's physically on your campus, think about it, it's pretty easy to document. If it's someplace else, you got to provide a receipt or something, some kind of email, some kind of placement saying that this student placed at a certain event, etc. And then finally, we had another event. Now, here is an event where we did not keep track of how many people came to it, but basically we had a career week and we worked again with our criminal justice people, and they brought out the Secret Service, and we had some of our faculty there, but we had 20, 30 20, 30 students from different classes and different disciplines. We strongly encouraged all our IT students to go to this particular event. But basically, here's a flyer and says, learn specialized jobs like cybersecurity. So we at Lakeland don't have a lot of extracurricular activity that's consistent, but we do have just routine extracurricular activities when we're bringing in people to give discussions, career events, experimental learning activities, anything where you're just trying to expand for things outside of the given classroom. So outreach to high schools, we're constantly going out and doing presentations to high school about cybersecurity and other events. Get the email that says, hey, would you mind coming out to this event? Yes, I'll be out there, and then the back and forth email, and that should be just fine. So let's wrap some things up. Probably in this one with the extracurricular activity, where I hear some struggling, most two-year colleges will have some kind of cyber club, but there's still a lot of two-year colleges that don't. I know we have struggled with building a cyber club. We're building a IT club, women in IT club, but we've struggled with the IT club for cybersecurity because of it's a 2-year process. But there is still a lot of opportunity. So where we will often see weaknesses here, or I'm sorry, where I will see weaknesses in, it's like, well, we don't have clubs. Well, there are other things that you can be doing. It's not just club. We love to see cyber events, competitions. We love to see clubs. But if you don't have a stable club or whatever, there's other things that you can potentially submit for this extracurricular activities and the community outreach and all this intern programs, etc. So that being said, think about it. Wish you luck on it. I hope if you are successful with your cybersecurity club, send me an email. I would love to talk to people and say, what are you doing, so I can replicate it at my place. So that being said, let's go out and learn something.